Well, hello there, friends. Time to read up on a name that has resided in the hearts and minds of Green Berets since the Vietnam War. A name you might not have heard, which is an absolute fucking travesty. Robert Lewis Howard was a warrior's warrior. He was nominated for the Medal of Honor a whopping 3 times, and surviving teammates say he deserved all 3. Not only that, but Howard managed to be a complete badass his whole life. Example?
Normally I don't make notes, and I speak from the heart because everything I say is the truth. And there's 2 things that I don't like, and that's a politician and a newspaper reporter. So if there's any in the crowd, and I might add, I don't work for the government anymore, I can say that. So if there's any in the crowd, there's no insult, but you better take a lesson on honesty and commitment to this great country of ours. No, that's enough said.
No shit, my kind of guy. Howard was born in Alabama in 1939, and he enlisted in 1956. After the first of 4 Vietnam tours, he went through Special Forces training and returned in 1967 as a Sergeant First Class in the 5th Special Forces Group. The real meat of our story begins December 29th, 1968. Green Beret Sergeant Robert F. Sheridan was part of a 10-man team inserted into the area where Laos and Cambodia intersect with the South Vietnamese border. The team split up, and both elements were attacked. The enemy fight forced the patrol to withdraw, leaving Sheridan behind. The following morning, Lieutenant James Jerson was inserted with the Special Forces Commando Platoon to rescue Sheridan. Howard was the platoon sergeant. As Jerson and Howard moved up to a small hill, a remotely detonated mine exploded, IED style. Howard was blown off his feet and hit the ground wounded. Upon regaining consciousness, he saw his lieutenant seriously wounded and his own weapon destroyed. In other words, a complete and utter clusterfuck. Howard, wounded in the legs and hands by a grenade, moved through a hail of fire to reach Jerson and began dragging him to cover while administering medical aid. But of course, if you've never been in combat, you might not be able to understand this. But everything that can go wrong will and must go wrong. A bullet struck a magazine on Jerson's ammunition pouch, causing several rounds to explode. Howard stuffed one of Jerson's legs into his armpit and dragged him. Oh my God. Try that little maneuver of pulling anybody that's 6'4" and over 200 pounds of dead weight while you're bleeding out of several holes and dealing with a fresh traumatic brain injury. I mean, don't actually try it, but get some perspective, fucksticks. Both men hid as the enemy patrol passed by to engage the main body of the platoon.
And I smell the most horrible smell. I'm trying to look around, and I realized that there's an enemy using a flamethrower. And the people that had been caught in the kill zone, he was burning them.
Yes, children, war sucks. For 3.5 hours, and despite other wounds, Howard crawled from position to position, administering first aid to the wounded, giving encouragement to the defenders, and directing the fire on the encircling enemy. By the way, don't let that little bit make things sound all sterile and straightforward. We're talking about pretty hardcore dudes getting pinned down, and Howard got hit again. Here I am thinking, I'm blowing up again, and there were other soldiers back behind him that hadn't been hurt at all, and had been watching us being almost executed by the enemy and not doing anything, not even firing their weapons. Yes, children, war sucks, but Green Berets, Rangers, Airborne, not precisely the kind of men who would freeze up for any bullshit reason. Only a real piece of shit would judge a man's fear under the fire of that fact. But in the moment, Howard knew exactly what was needed. We're going to establish a perimeter right here, and you're going to fight or die. Then, Howard challenged death to a dick measuring contest. Spoiler alert, Howard won. He got a radio and called in an airstrike on his own position. The bombs came in and fucked pretty much everyone up. But the MVA was done for. It's one thing to fight it out with a pinned down unit. It's another when that unit is perfectly willing to blow itself up, and you along with it. Finally, a helicopter rescued the platoon. Gerson died of his wounds, and Sheridan was missing in action. His remains have yet to be recovered. For the third time during his service, Howard was recommended the Medal of Honor, and this time he got it. And that is about as happy as an ending that this gets in war. In other words, there's no such thing. Until next time, sleep tight and stack bodies.